because you're poor, they make you feel small by giving you no time instead of it all, till the pain is so big you feel nothing at all. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. If you wanna be a hero, well, just follow me. If you wanna be a hero, well, just follow me.
I just want my money.
It goes without saying that the characters of the Red Dead franchise are some of the most compelling and well-developed characters of video game history. Arthur Morgan is easily one of, if not the best character ever made in fiction, for the depth that his character has and what changes him throughout his story.
The same can be said for Marston, as his past kind of remained a mystery until Red Dead 2, where we finally found out what made him who he is. These two characters are some of the most important characters Rockstar Games has ever created, and I'm sure most of you would agree with me on this opinion.
But what about the man who started it all? Red Harlow is the main character of Red Dead Revolver, which came out in 2004, 7 years before its later magnum opus.
Red Harlow was a man who saw his parents die as a child. He lived with this pain and used it to take down men as a bounty hunter. And he became arguably one of the best bounty hunters, and one of the best gunslingers of all time.
Red Harlow's story in Red Dead Revolver came to an end when he shot down the man who ultimately was the cause of his father's death.
He declines the money from the bounty and walks away, giving one of the most badass lines to end a game.
Give it to them. It never was about the money.
But what happens after this? Red Harlow is the only Red Dead character to not die at the end of his story, so it begs the question, what did this living legend go on to do with his life?
In this video, we're going to be going over 4 of our theories as to what might have happened to Red Harlow, and we will let you decide what his ending is.
Without further ado, let's dive deep into the life of Red Harlow. The myth theory. So to start this one off, I just want to say that yes, I am aware of the Housers saying that the story of Red Dead Revolver and Red Dead Redemption do not take place in the same universe. But this does not necessarily mean that Red Harlow doesn't exist in Redemption's universe. If you were to ask me personally, I believe Red Harlow does exist in Redemption's universe, but maybe his story was greatly exaggerated.
If we listen closely to some of the stories told at campfires, someone brings up Red Harlow.
Only 30 years back, there was men here in these parts would stand up to authority. You heard of that Red Harlow fella? He was one of those men. Stood up to every man who blocked his path, Mexican army included. Nearly cost him his life, but he did.
One of the things this man brings up is that Red Harlow used to go around catching bounties in these parts.
Meaning Red Harlow used to catch bounties in New Austin, which isn't surprising considering the location Twin Rocks is in Red Dead Revolver, and allegedly his house is also in New Austin under the location Two Crows.
It's because of this that I believe Red Harlow exists in the Red Dead Redemption universe. But let's say this wasn't the case.
Let's say that Red Harlow truly is a myth, and that everything that is said about him is just a story. Well, this would mean that he never existed and nothing happened to him.
But this theory is no fun, so we're going to go over Red Harlow being a real person that existed in the Red Dead Redemption universe.
The low profile theory. This theory is kind of similar to John Marston. After John fulfills his need of killing Micah, he tries to go straight and live a quiet life with his family.
This same thing could have happened to Red Harlow. After completing what most people think is his final bounty, he might have gone quiet and lived a low-profile life.
Whether Red Harlow moved back to New Austin or if he moved to a different state is unknown, but this theory is most likely to be true since nothing is ever heard of Red Harlow ever again. People might say that Red Harlow could have been caught up by the law and killed, but I doubt this because if Red Harlow was killed, then it would have been a huge story since he made a huge name for himself as the best bounty hunter.
This theory might be the most likely out of all these theories, but we still haven't gone over our most interesting theories.
The Ricketts Theory. This is where it gets interesting. So in Red Dead Redemption 1, John Marston goes to Mexico. It's there where he meets legendary gunslinger Lennon Ricketts.
Landon Rickett teaches John a few things, and here where you unlock the ability to manually mark things with your Deadeye.
Now that you know this, imagine Red Harlow in his old age, rusty but still skillful, and imagine Jack Marston at the end of Red Dead 1. You can see where this is going.
Imagine a Red Dead game where you play as Jack Marston and you have a run-in with Red Harlow, where he teaches Jack a few new tips for shooting, or maybe carrying out a job for him like how John did with Landon Ricketts.
I haven't seen many people talk about this theory, probably because it's highly unlikely, but it's definitely the coolest theory. The Uncle Theory. So this is a very, very popular theory, and there are very many conflicting opinions on this topic.
This is a theory that's existed for a long time, but was popularized with the creation of a fellow YouTuber and friend of ours, Hound Royals, who a few years ago made a video comparing the similarities of Red Harlow and Uncle from Red Dead Redemption.
A lot of this has to do with the similarities of Uncle and Red's childhood, and the mystery of Uncle's real name, along with him claiming to be known as the one-shot kid, which doesn't really have any weight to it besides Red shooting a man's arm off his body. But as far as I know, there is nothing in Red Dead Revolver that refers to Red Harlow as the one-shot kid.
Most of the community agrees that this is not true. While there's a couple small things that might make people think that they're the same person, but there are a lot of pieces of evidence debunking all of these things. We actually made a full video debunking this theory. If you want to check it out, it will be in the description down below or in the end card at the end of the video.
One thing we failed to mention in this video though is the fact that Red Harlow and Uncle don't even share the same eye color. Uncle's being brown and Red Harlow's being blue. And obviously, your eye color doesn't just change as you grow older.
I'm not too sure why people desperately want Red to be Uncle anyway. If Red was Uncle, then this would mean that Red, being a very skilled gunslinger with an epic story, turned into a lazy alcoholic in his old age, which would have ultimately been a very sad ending for Red Harlow. It's simply just very unlikely that Red Harlow is Uncle.
We might not ever know what Red Harlow's fate was, but being the only main character that didn't die in his story, we can only hope that he lived a long and comfortable life as a retired gunslinger.
Who knows? Maybe if Red Dead 3 is ever to happen, we might get a closer look at what happened to him. Or maybe even revisit him in a Revolver sequel. You never know. But until then, we shall keep theorizing.
Thank you so much for watching this video, boys. What do you guys think happened to Red Harlow? Make sure you let us know in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and leave a subscription for us. We recently just hit 7,000 subscribers, and we could not be any more grateful than we already are. So thank you guys so much. It really means a lot to us. We're on that road to 10K, buddy boy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, have a zonkin' wonkin' day.